Hey guys, how is it going? It is me, it is Josh Lloyd, and we are here at whatever time this is, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, for a pre-game show for a very busy Wednesday where there are 13 games on. There's just a bunch of injury news just dropped. Zion is playing, by the way. Just checking what else is coming up here. Torrey Craig is playing. Ben Mathurin and Miles Turner are out. Caruso's in. Darius Garland is ill, but he is going through his pre-game workout. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. So I will welcome you guys in. I'll say hi. I will get hi to the chat who's here. Let's have a look. Nectarios is here. Nah, mate, I'm not angry, Nectarios. I'm pretty okay today. Not a lot's happened that's too negative at the moment. Angela Bryant, welcome, Angela. Good to see you here. Matt Carmody is here, Irish legend. N asks, is it Ijack's time for today? Pretty much has to be. Isn't Jalen Smith and Miles Turner out? So yeah, I think it's going to have to be unless he gets into foul trouble. Then yeah. Hope you guys, if it is Wednesday still, hope you guys have had a good Valentine's Day. And if you haven't had a good Valentine's Day or you don't have anyone for Valentine's Day, who cares? It's a made-up holiday that means nothing. We're all okay, yeah? Doesn't matter. Just enjoy yourself. We're all good. Let's have a look at these lineup screens. I'll bring it across. Then we can start doing the things that we like to do on this show. This is going to be a very busy-looking lineup screen. Yep, there it is. So let's chuck it across. We've only got 2 lineups confirmed at this point. The Magic with no Markel Fultz, no Jalen Suggs either. Anthony Black, Mr. Black, Caleb Houston, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. What happened to Jalen Suggs? I didn't realize that Jalen Suggs was out because there's a lot to catch up on. Let's go and have a look. So Houston and Mr. Black starting there. What happened to Suggsy? Sore right groin. Again, so much of this stuff happens. Gary Harris out as well. And this last game for a lot of these teams before the All-Star break. The Hornets are starting Trey Mann, Cody Martin, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Nick Richards. You have got Duncan Robinson playing, Jovic starting again, Buddy Hield starting for the Sixers, and Nick Nurse made it out like he was going to continue starting even when Melton and Batum were back. Then Oubre and Melton would come off the bench. I don't know that it's worth holding Melton. If he's going to play 24 minutes with a back injury coming off the bench, I'm not that interested. I'm definitely not interested in Oubre. And Hield is fine, but he's not going to play his 36 minutes. He'll be a little bit pushed down, I'm guessing. So what else do we need to look at here? We just got a lineup for the Heat. It's Hero, Robinson, Martin, Jovic, Adebayo, same as yesterday. Nick's lineup is Brunson, Alec Burks, Hart, Achua, and Sims. We thought it would be we thought it would be Burks replacing DiVincenzo, who is out, and it was. For all of the salty Celtics fans who are out there who just want to really fight me because I said that they're load managing this season, they are load managing Al Horford and Jaylen Brown today, as they seem to be doing someone every single game. So yeah, you guys are the new load managers. I'm sorry to tell you, you just got to deal with it. Maxey, Hield, Oubre, KJ Martin, and Paul Reed starting for the Sixers. So we're getting all those lineups come in. Get a lot of questions. People go, man, why isn't Hartenstein like INJ eligible? Why hasn't he got the injured tag? Why isn't he IL eligible? Again, don't use the IL spot. It's a ridiculous spot. I know Yahoo Public Leagues have it. I've told Yahoo to change that. They don't listen. They don't care. They make no changes to their fantasy product year on year on year. I've told them through publicly and privately. What are you doing? Make IL plus your regular thing, because you have these things where the situation where the rule is 7 days for an injured tag. And it's not 3 games, despite what everyone seems to believe. It's 7 days. But then today, like Hartenstein, he's ruled out today. This is 7 days. He last played on Thursday. Today is Wednesday. He's not playing Wednesday, so he's not playing within 7 days. He needs an injured tag so that you can make him eligible. And you've got to do it before these games start, but the idiots don't, because you rely upon this human issue to create these tags on players, and sometimes it becomes unfair. That is why you need IL plus. Just insane stuff to not have it as default, or even in your own league to not use it. And I will bang on about this. And if you tell me it's actually better to not actually have IL slots or have no IL, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Someone said, are you angry yet? Yeah, I am now, because I'm angry at the fact that Yahoo does this and that the people just aren't using that as the default thing. Okay. Hello, everybody. Would I start Bilal in a 12-10 points league 40-game cap? Kai, I'm going to assume you got the 40-game cap across the 2 weeks, so 8 days of action. No, I would not use Bilal. How high am I in a man in a dynasty league? Very, very high, Brody. I had him like equal second in the class behind Wemby, equal with Scoot, and then Asar was in that same tier as well. I had him, I would say he's a top 20 dynasty player. Houston moneyline odds are crazy. What gives? Let's have a look. What's the game? They're only barely favored against the Grizzlies. That's a little weird. You're right. 3-point favorites against Memphis. That is a little weird. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't heard that anyone's being ruled out. Now, I'll tell you what we're waiting on today. We're waiting on Darius Garland. He's questionable still. Sam Merrill's questionable. Dean Wade is questionable, all with an illness. Kendall Brown, who cares for that one? Tyrese Halliburton is still questionable. Like, come on. Jarris Walker is questionable. He is going to not play, according to what's his name? Carlisle. Derrick Rose is still questionable. Zion Williams is probable. That Grizzlies lineup is going to be a disaster. We've got Luka and Kyrie as both probable. Kleber, Lively are still questionable, so we will see something maybe different there with the center rotation. KCP and Jamal Murray, despite old mate not Nick Nurse, what's his name? Michael Malone telling us they were doubtful yesterday. The Nuggets listed them questionable. If they play KCP, they're idiots, like literally idiots. I don't think they're going to play. Absolute idiocy if they play him. Trey Lyles is still questionable. Anthony Davis is questionable, and it is a back-to-back. And they popped Cade Cunningham on as probable, which is ridiculous to me. You either know that he's playing on the back-to-back, or you don't. Because the reason he's not playing on the back-to-back is injury management on his knee. And they've done it multiple times where he's been listed probable, and they've ruled him out. So, really frustrating stuff. Any expectations for Goodwin today? Yeah, there's no Scottie Pippen, so I guess he could step up into the starting group. I don't know. I think he's got a pretty solid role here to be at least useful today, but I wouldn't want to risk it with 13 games on. Do I celebrate Valentine's Day? Not really. It was yesterday for us, so didn't do anything. My partner's not even here. It's just me and Obi sitting on the couch last night. So we didn't do anything. What do the Hawks do at center? They're going to play Bruno. They have to. And then otherwise, it has to be Jalen. There's no other options. It's got to be all Fernando and all Jalen Johnson, meaning a lot of wing minutes opening up. Maybe that means Kobe Buffkin and Bogdanovic pushes up and Hunter and Bay play a lot. But you're going to get, I would say, minimum 20 minutes of Bruno Fernando. Do I think Andre is getting 25 minutes tonight? Who's Andre? Why am I blanking? Who the hell is Andre? Andre Miller? Who's Andre? What am I blanking on here? What is my line projection for Charlie Brown? I don't even know that I have Charlie Brown projected for any minutes. Let me have a quick look. I've got him projected for 10 minutes. So I'm going to say not particularly high. But of course, he could play more. But I don't have him projected that high. Let's have a look. What line do I have for Charlie? Never thought I'd get a Charlie Brown question. 3.4 points, 1.2 rebounds, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 steals for Charlie Brown. There you go. Hawks starters. It is Bruno starting, so it's Young, Murray, Bay, Johnson, Fernando, with DeAndre Hunter still coming off the bench. Tyrese Halliburton is ruled in. Why they keep listing him questionable, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, Andre the Giant. There you go. Andre Drummond. Thank you. I couldn't even think at all who that would be. Do I think Andre plays 25? Well, I'm telling you now, if he doesn't get anywhere close to 25 today, then he's a clear drop right across the board. This is the matchup that is like Minnesota in terms of playing the two bigs against Cleveland. So I think that there is a chance of maybe even pushing higher than that and getting higher than 25 in this one. I would say, I think I've got him at 24, so I think it's about right. If Goodwin starts, we get him for the back-to-back. Maybe. But honestly, if he starts today, it doesn't mean he starts tomorrow. Pippen might start tomorrow. I wouldn't have a huge amount of confidence, but with only 3 games on tomorrow, I think he would at least get some minutes, and that would be worthwhile, yes. On full slate days, do you consider matchups or play your top guys? Brenda, I'll tell you right now, when I'm playing fantasy basketball, I don't consider the matchup at all. Really, it's the amount of time that I've done this and doing a show every day, writing comments on every single game, every single box score for 8 years or whatever it is. So that's probably 10,000 games that I've written detailed responses on and looked at everything. The amount of variance that happens game by game, that is not explained away by matchups is ridiculously high. So spending this time, who's the better matchup here? Don't worry about it. Just pick your better players. Sam Merrill, Dean Wade are out. That just got announced. Just pick your better players. There's been occasional certain ones of those. Again, you look for higher pace situations. That would help if you're playing against a higher pace opponent or a worse defense. That can help in really sort of tight decisions like the guys that are pretty close in value. But it's more just about the quality of the player and the minutes of the player or the situation they're in versus like, well, if this guy defends him here or if this is a blowout and they'll get reduced minutes. That is a complete waste of time, I think. And in the end, it wastes your time with the result that comes out of it. Not particularly good. There you go. Start Barrett or Dosunmu tonight. I think there is a risk of Dosunmu getting slightly fewer minutes. I'd probably go with Barrett. How long would I wait before I drop Gafford? Why would I drop Gafford at this point? Like, how long would I wait? I'd want to actually see him turn in a bad performance. You're talking about dropping a top 30 player at the moment. So he's your worst player. He's not your worst player. Like, he's not your worst player at all. He might become your worst player, but he is not your worst player. So, how long would I wait? It'd have to be a pretty long time. Like, if we see Lively play, then Gafford comes off the bench and plays 18 minutes, then I go, all right, maybe. If he plays 25, we're still going. Yeah, that's crazy. Do I think Jarrett Allen is still viable in Dynasty? Do I think Cleveland will move on from him? I do think that he will get moved on from, but that doesn't mean he's dead. He just goes to a different team and is fine. So, he's still got value. It's just going to be different. I don't have any info on Garland. We're just waiting. He's still a game times decision, so is Derek Lively. Is the production from Trey Mann the last two games what we can reasonably expect if he stays starting? A lot of that is just going to be dependent on LaMelo, right? If LaMelo plays, then Mann's assist numbers drop. But I do think there is still scope for Mann's usage to improve and for some of his efficiency stuff to improve. So it's reasonable, but I do think he can actually be better. You said in the Bilo show you think the Mavs should start Gafford. Is that win now? Do you think he's the better option for the next few years? No, I think Lively is going to be very clearly better than Gafford long term without any question at all. What I was more saying was, I don't know that necessarily they should start Gafford, but I think that they will start Gafford because at the moment, Gafford is the better player. And if you are looking to maximize every single win this season, which they probably should be, then yeah, you probably do want to start Gafford. But long term, absolutely no way. Lively is that guy. He, I think, will be very clearly better than Gafford as early as next season. And I don't think there's much, I don't have any concerns about that. I'm not debating that at all in my head. It's just for this season, I think Gafford is going to get better results and will be the guy they should go to, or the guy that they will end up likely going to. There you go. All right, we should just go and while I wait. Oh, guess what? LaMelo Ball is out. Oh, what a shock that is. All right. Just checking if there's any more news that has popped out. Nope. We've got all the early games listed, so that's good. I'm going to go just break this foolishness up with a dribble game. Let's just get something going. Jaylen Brown to Duncan Robinson. Oh, yeah. The old armbar. So who is it? Who's the Celtics Heat crossover player? Max Strus? Bullshit. Max Strus played for Boston. Did he never play a game there, though? Did he tear his ACL in the G League and never play? But they included Dinwiddie yesterday who hadn't played a game. That's garbage. Strus played for Boston. Rude. So who else am I looking at? Kelly Olynyk? That Max Strus, I've got to look that up. Did Max Strus, he was on a roster. Anyway. But yeah, they counted Dinwiddie yesterday for the Lakers, and he hadn't played a game yet. They don't even have on Basketball Reference that Max Strus played for Boston. Am I imagining this? No, I'm not. He was signed to a two-way contract July 19th, 2019 by the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown played there. He was waived by the Celtics October 19th. He signed a two-way, and then he signed a two-way with the Bulls. I guess so. Okay, so he wasn't on the roster. Yeah, fair enough. He wasn't on the roster for a regular season game. So there you go. He signed a two-way and then got waived immediately. No, not immediately. He got waived 3 months later. And then went to the Bulls and then tore his ACL. Oh, I still think I should have counted, man. Like, Dinwiddie had not played with Rui Hachimura yesterday. Oh, well. Rozier is the easiest answer. There you go. Is the Big Ragu still starting after the All-Star break? No reason to suggest that he wouldn't. Strus didn't play a game for Boston, but like I said, he was on their roster. Would I start DG or Duncan? I would start Duncan pretty obviously there. Not obviously, but that would be what I would do. Everyone jumped to Rozier immediately. Didn't even come into my head. I was just immediately going to Strus for some reason. Do you hold PJ Washington? He has the starting spot in the minutes. Well, he did for one game. Not sure it's going to continue, and obviously his value was pretty low in that game. I'd probably like to see one game of him today, or one more game, and see where it goes. Is Bogdanovic in Tibbs' doghouse? He's not playing tonight. Well, that's because he's injured. He didn't just get randomly scratched, but is he in Tibbs' doghouse? Well, this is always going to be a problem, is his defensive issues, and we knew that once this team got healthy, he wouldn't have that role, and we talked about this very clearly, trade deadline, that he will be a drop once players return. There's no question about that to me. For now, he's a very soft hold. Obviously, he's missing today, but if they have to play Charlie Brown 10 minutes or Juice McBride 30, then there is a role there for Bogdanovic, but when players get healthy, he won't play. Like he'll play like 20 minutes or 19 minutes or something. But he's out today not because he's doghoused. Didn't we play with Rui in DC? Did he? You are right, he did. He did. If I could be elite at any professional sport, what sport would I choose? Probably basketball. Like, the money's awesome. What other sport pays you that much? Soccer? Maybe it's soccer. Like, the money, like, just, if I could choose to be, like, in terms of what my enjoyment of the game, it's hard for me to say that. Like, I obviously enjoy basketball. I don't enjoy playing it because I'm bad at it, right? So I'm just bad at it. I like to be good at something. So the sports that I'm good at, like, I'm a decent Australian football player. Not anymore because I'm old, but I used to be a very good cricketer. I used to be a pretty good footy player. So that would be great, but the money's nowhere near as high unless, IPL stuff. Maybe I get that money, but just play basketball. Get that money, or soccer. Does Okongwu's injury reduce my confidence in him starting with? Yes, it does reduce the confidence. I still think it'll happen, but of course, it does reduce the confidence. What are my thoughts on Bruce Brown rest of season? I've got speaking of confidence, no confidence. Would he play like 18 minutes and then 31? I think that he won't hit that 30 every night. He'll get some minutes as the backup point guard, but I think they're going to be a low-key disaster roster down the stretch, and you're going to see a lot of dick push into that zone. That's not sad, man. I'm glad that I was able to make your day by answering your question. Sometimes we have little things that happen and are negative in our lives, and it could be the smallest thing that makes things feel better. So I'm glad, without me knowing that I did that, I'm glad I was able to make you feel good in that way. Baseball money is stupid. Yeah, it also is. You're right. Start Bagley or Neesmith? Probably Bagley. Is there anything in life that you are bad in that you really enjoy doing? Yeah, at my age, right? Like, I've played video games my whole life, right? Back from the old Atari 2600. Now, I'm bad at it, right? My hand-eye just can't keep up, because when you grow up playing with consoles where the controller had like one stick and 3 buttons, let's say max 4 buttons, you could sort of do that. I can't work out where I've got 2 shoulders here and 2 here and push down on this, and there's 4 here and there's 2. I can't keep up with it. I'm bad at it. I still like playing video games. It does get annoying when I'm not good at it, but yeah, that's probably the one. I was a bowler. I was a terrible batsman, but I was a bowler. Do I think Quickly is a good fit with the Raptors? Yes, he will be. Will they re-sign him? 100% they will. Don't even worry about that. That's 100% happening. Yes, I do think Olynyk can be a rest of season hold. No, my car is not yet fixed. There's just a huge backlog of getting it fixed. Hopefully it's coming. They said at the latest, the start of April. Hopefully it's soon. Hopefully it's sooner than that. Let's go back to check on news. Cavs, Garland is playing. So Cavs are starting Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. That's their usual starters. Jarris Walker is listed inactive, so he won't play. Jonte Porter is listed inactive, so he won't play. Just be aware of that. So even though all those guys are out, Derek Lively's playing. Muxie Kleber is out. This is very interesting. So we get to see the Lively-Gafford combo. Now, Lively might be reduced in minutes because he's coming back off this injury, but will they slide? If they slide Lively straight into the starting lineup, very interesting. But we get at least a small data point of the Lively-Gafford combination here to see what they do with it and see how we can adjust. It's not going to give us the full picture, but we are going to see that today, which is good. We need that information. Speaking of bowling, do I think it'll be over or under 150 points in a bowling outing? I thought it should be mean 10-pin bowling. 150. I haven't been 10-pin bowling for a long time. I used to be not bad. I wasn't good. It was not bad. If you gave me like, hey, go once a week for the next 3 weeks, I'd hit over, I reckon, pretty sure. Is there any risk the Nets will play McCall first quarter tape? I don't think so, no. How worried should I be about LaMelo not playing again this season? A little bit worried, yes. Can you name a few guys you think... No, I'm not going to give you exact names. I just think that if I could get a top 60 player back for... Let's say top 70 player back for LaMelo, I would do it. And you can judge how that works in your league and with your build, but that's what I'd sort of look at. Should you start quickly or Neesmith? Well, Neesmith has been outperforming quickly. I still think I would go with quickly. I would start Vince Williams over Pajemski without really thinking about that too much. Have I shared my thoughts on Sabonis not making All-Star this season? I don't really have a huge problem with it, honestly. Yes, I don't think Towns should have made it in there. I think you could easily make the argument that Sabonis could have got that extra spot. You could make that Wembanyama was in that spot. You could make that De'Aaron Fox was in that spot. I don't think Towns should have been in there. Actually, no, I would have had Gobert, so I would have had in there. But look, it's fine. Like, Sabonis could have been... If Sabonis was in there ahead of Towns, I wouldn't have said, man, that's dreadful. I don't think Towns should have been in there, but I would have had Gobert over Sabonis. No, I haven't said anything about the Miami news that I know, because I'm not ready. I'm not permitted to really talk about it. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some more info on it. Or not more info. Hopefully, I am able to talk about it. Yeah, that's the problem with the betting strategy, Miles. It takes forever to do. It probably takes like 5 minutes per game to enter all the over-unders. But yeah, you hit it on 3 of them and you go up straight away. And the problem is you can't say, I'm going to pick and choose these ones, because that's where you run into problems. Because you have to cover everybody, because you never know who that guy is going to be who's going to get injured 3 minutes in. Like yesterday, you hit Beal on the alternate line, under points, under rebounds, under assists. You hit a plus 3,000 parlay, like easy. Plus 3,000? Yeah, plus 3,000 parlay. What am I going to do with my extra free time over All-Star? I'm going to sleep. I'm going to do some more stuff with my family, with Ben, with my partner, with Obi. I am going to record a couple of shows. I'm going to just catch up on rest, really. In a games cap limit of 40 on this 8-day double week, do I play all 10 slots? It depends. It depends on how good the players are. If someone's like a borderline play, like for me and Andre Drummond, I wouldn't play him today, because he might be good, but he might not be. Like Jordan Poole, I've got that in industry pickup. I'm not playing him today because I've got the ability to sit on that with a 40-game cap. Like those sort of players, if they're strong top 80 players, yes, I'd definitely play them. How come I have Gobert over Cat? Has Cat been better this season? No, Gobert has been better. Gobert has been the best defensive player in the NBA, and he is the key reason, I believe, that they have taken the step that they have to become that good team. That's really, yeah. Lively has a minutes restriction. They're not telling us what the minutes restriction is, so that gives us some information, but not enough information, which is frustrating. We want more. We want more. Give us all the information. But let's see what they do. If they immediately start Lively, then that is a little telling. Wouldn't drop any of them yet. Just want to see. Because again, we've got some info, but not full info. Basically, Tim, yeah, top 100 guys I would play. Would I accept sound bites from the DB Army? Yeah, if you're a double banger. It's most of the time, honestly, when I do the sound bites, I like to create them and do them myself because they make me laugh, and that's part of what it is. So usually that's what I would do, but sure. Do I have any hobbies? Painting. Can't do it. Terrible at drawing or craft work. Dancing, absolutely. Making dance craze TikToks, absolutely not. Collecting, yeah, I collect shoes. It's probably my collect sneakers. Playing instruments. I used to play the guitar. I don't really do that anymore. But yeah, I don't really have a huge amount of time for hobbies, honestly. Cooking, maybe cooking. Drinking, is that a hobby? Could only play 2 tonight. Cade, Trey Jones, Garland, and Quickly. It's got to be Cade and Garland. Don't overthink it. Muggsy Bogues or Spud Webb. Muggsy. When do I think the Raptors will be a playoff team again? 3 years. So I'm not sure that Scotty Barnes is the guy to be the number one, to lead the team to be a strong, consistent playoff team. I think he's been really good, but we are seeing some cracks develop here. Not to say, again, he's year 3, he's young, but I'm not sure that he's that guy that go, right, we've got it, and now everything pushes forward, and he takes us to that next level. I'm not certain on that yet. Any cooking going on? I'm sure there will be. I don't know what it is yet, but yes, there will be. Would I start Crusoe or Burks? Crusoe. Any interesting dinners you made recently? I made this prawn dinner or shrimp with a citrus beurre blanc with some garlic beans. Was probably the most interesting I made recently. Do I think the Wizards gave Gafford to the Mavs for basically nothing? No, they got a first out of it, so not really. No, they did all right out of it. They got a first. What's my favorite beer of choice? I'm not one of those guys. Celtics lineup is coming out, I believe. Just waiting on that as we get ready for the last 5 minutes. I'm not someone who's like, this is my beer and I always have to get that beer. And at the moment, I don't really buy cans or bottles, but if I do, I would go there and go, I haven't had this before, let me try it. There's so many beers that are available on the market, so many craft breweries, local breweries, international beers, whatever. And whenever I go to a place, I go, what's local here? Let's try it. But I don't try to double up. I try and just choose something new every time. But at the moment, what I do have, I have beer on, I had a keg and a tap installed, so I get my beers from that. And then I just change that keg out with different things each time. Dosumu is worth a pickup, yes. No, I'm not saying to sell high on Scotty Barnes. That's not what I'm saying. Again, I've misevaluated him maybe at times through his career. He was obviously great to start the season. He's fallen off a bit. I am just not convinced with some of the shakiness of the shooting, of him being that number one guy. Like you look at the way that Donovan Mitchell runs as a number one guy. You look at Kawhi Leonard as a number one guy. You look at Shea as a number one guy. I'm not convinced that Barnes is that player. And if you put your eggs into that being the number one guy to build over the next couple of years and he isn't that player, then it makes it harder to get into the playoffs, and then maybe you have to reassess and get another guy to come in to be that number one. That's what I'm talking about. But I could be very wrong on that. If I watch The Bear, I've watched a bit. It's so stressful. I've watched about 5 episodes, I think. I need to get more into it. Are there any teams at risk of sitting players after one quarter like Nets or Boston? There's absolutely no way of being able to know that. Sam Hauser starting for Jaylen Brown today. So Holiday, White, Hauser, Tatum, Porzingis starting. There's no way of knowing that. Then how could you possibly know that? There's no indication that any of that stuff is happening. Start Dosumu or White. Has to be White. Don't overthink it. Do you start Williams, Derek White, or Kuminga? That's a little bit more interesting. Probably Kuminga. Probably. Which one is a drop? Beer, wine, whiskey, gin, or Turkish raki? Well, I haven't had rakia, so I'll say it's that. Have I ever thought of moving to the States and go to the games? Nope. I mean, I've thought about it, but it doesn't make any sense for me to do it. A, it's way worse for me to record the show if I'm over there. B, my quality of life here is awesome. Why would I do that? My family's here. There's actually no real benefit for me doing that at this point. I have not watched the trailer yet for Deadpool Wolverine, or Deadpool 3. I do need to watch it, but I have not done that. Olynyk or Sohan? I'll take Olynyk. Just waiting on more news here. We've got 2 minutes before I'm out of here, so just be aware we're going to go soon. Do I think Kawhi is actually okay? Yeah, I do. I think he's fine. I think he's going to miss this time. He'll miss the All-Star game. I think he's okay. He has been dealing with this for a little bit of time in his hip, but I think he's fine. AG50. That's a terrible name. Paul Reed, quickly. Vince Williams. Who to drop? Not dropping Vince. It's probably Gordon, honestly. Start Asar, Bruce Brown, or Poole? Probably Asar. All right, I do have projections for Isaiah Jackson, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to guess what my projections are for his line today. Isaiah Jackson will have 15, 9, 1 assist, 4 blocks in 23 minutes. Yes, I've watched Severance. It was actually unbelievable. It was so good. I loved it. But anyway, we are getting out of here. So thank you to everyone again for being a part of the show. Hit the old thumb on the way out. That's great. It helps me out immensely. Subscribe. Ring your notification bell there as well. And I will see you guys later on for a gigantic 13-game recap show. Let's just quickly check. Any news coming in while I'm waiting? No, bro. We said Bruno Fernandes starting. We know that already. I'll see you guys later.